We were keen to make progress this morning, so there's only a brief glimpse of Penzance. 10 minutes later we're in Merisian, another typical Cornish coastal town, probably most famous for St Michael's Mount. St Michael's is a tidal island that can only be accessed along a causeway at low tides. It was originally occupied for religious purposes, but was acquired by the St Alban family in 1659. In 1954, the family gave the property to the National Trust, with an agreement they could remain living there for 999 years and manage it on behalf of the National Trust.
Historically, St Michael's Mount was a Cornish counterpart of Mont St Michel in Normandy, France, with which it shares the same tidal island characteristics and a similar conical shape, though Mont St Michel is much taller.
The National Trust is a charity and membership organisation for heritage conservation in Great Britain. It was founded in 1895.
It's possibly best known for its collection of stately and country homes, but it also manages huge swathes of land. Much of the property was gifted so it could be preserved for the public to enjoy. In reality, the National Trust acquired a lot of property because of economic and tax reasons. Either way, it does a decent job of preserving these national treasures.
As one of the largest landowners in the United Kingdom, the Trust owns almost 1,000 square miles and 780 miles of coast. Interestingly, the best-known stately homes, such as Chatsworth, Blenheim Palace and Longleat, have managed to remain independent.
Okay, we're at Lizard Point, the most southerly point in the British Isles. British Isles are mainland, obviously not British Isles. As you can hear, it's a very windy day. Don't be fooled by the helmet mic. All sound in these early videos is from the camera mic. We've managed to clean it up a bit in production. Things do get better, but you'll have to bear with us and keep following this and other adventures to see how we do it. Royal Naval Air Station Culdrose is on the Lizard Peninsula and is one of the largest helicopter bases in Europe. Its main role is serving the Fleet Air Arm's frontline helicopter squadrons.
If you've been following this adventure, you'll know we are motorcycling around the Great British coastline. This is day 3. We are doing it in stages, and this is the last day of the first stage. We set out from Weston-super-Mare 2 days ago and got as far as Penzance. Check out episodes 1 and 2 to see how we got here.
Cornwall has a strong affinity with its Celtic roots. Native Celts, also known as Britons, are perhaps the most indigenous people of what we now call Great Britain. A series of invasions and migration by Romans, Gaels, Anglo-Saxons and Vikings gradually pushed the Celts to the more inaccessible fringes of the land, such as Wales and Cornwall. Eventually, even these places were assimilated into the nation we know today. Because they held out for so long, the association is still very strong, and they have their own name for Cornwall, Cerno, and their own flag, a white cross on a black background. Okay, we're in Falmouth. It's a windy day. Behind the wall to our right is another National Trust property, Tresillick Garden.
If you take a look at a map, you'll see just how jagged the Cornish coastline is. There are numerous estuaries and inlets of water. In order to cross them, we had to ride inland quite a way and find the nearest bridge, but 3 of them have a vehicle ferry service, mainly serving locals to avoid the long drive around. We decided we would use a ferry whenever there was one.
Here we are on the King Harry ferry. Not quite sure what it is we're crossing, but we're on the King Harry ferry and we're going to go to the other side. The southern English coastline is festooned with fortresses built at various times in response to the threat from European attack and invasion. The most recent ones were constructed during the Second World War. There are a lot that date from the Napoleonic Wars with France. The one at St Maur's is even older and dates from the reign of King Henry VIII.
I'm not sure why St Maur's, with a population of just 640, seems to be a magnet for royalty. Virtually every member of the royal family, past and present, frequently visit this small village and stay at a secluded holiday property.
It seemed like an age getting to Mevagissey along these winding country lanes. You can see why we don't make much progress.
If you're looking for a less commercialised Cornish fishing village, then look no further than Mevagissey. It has the typical steep, narrow streets that wind down to the beautiful harbour. Tourism still prevails, but Mevagissey perhaps retains more of its original character.
In recent years, this quiet little village with a population of just 2,000 has caused quite a controversy over the naming of a local park. For nearly 100 years it's been known as Hitler's Walk. Local folklore attributes this naming to a 1930s local councillor who displayed petty authoritarian tendencies, while others say it was because the Home Guard would patrol there looking for invasion forces from Germany. Either way, it's clearly meant in contempt. For 70 years, even in the immediate aftermath of the war, people understood it was not in glorification and accepted the name. Since 2005, the naming has been challenged, and the local council have been forced to remove signs and stop referring to the park as Hitler's Walk. So here we are in Mevagissey, which is a famous Cornish fishing village. Let me show you. We had planned to get to Plymouth during this 3-day stage, and after St Maur's tried to make up time. We got so far and realised we were defeating the purpose of the adventure. We decided to call it a day at Foy before crossing the ferry. We made our way home and looked forward to returning and resuming the adventure on another day. We had just started back when it began to pour with rain. We donned our waterproofs, gritted our teeth and rode the A30 over the top of a very wet Bodmin and Dartmoor.
Make sure you join us next time when we return to Foy and continue our coast adventure. Be great if you could subscribe so you don't miss future episodes.